Whom to believe? Once upon a time, a Brahmin had faced a strange dilemma. Whom to believe, man or the animals? His name was Jajnadutta, a kind good fellow though he was poor. His wife once told him in a tone that carried a lot of wisdom, "Look here, Brahmin, nobody is going to care two hoots for your goodness. If you wish to prosper, take a journey to some faraway land and try to impress a king or a landlord with your learning. Do you follow?" The Brahmin followed it all right. He left for some faraway land. As he walked on, he entered a forest. It was noon and the Brahmin was thirsty. Looking for some source of water, he soon found a well and eagerly leaned over it to see at what depth the water lay. But there was not even a shellful of water in the well. Instead, there was a tiger, a monkey, a snake, and last but not the least, a man. The mouth of the well was almost covered with grass, and these creatures had obviously fallen into it while passing that way. As soon as the Brahmin's face was seen by the prisoners of the well, the tiger roared out his happiness. The monkey chattered his delight. The snake hissed out his relief, and the man spoke out some flattery. Needless to say, they all pleaded with the Brahmin to rescue them from the well, and needless to say further, the loudest noise was made by the man who sought the Brahmin's help first, for he was after all a fellow human being. But the tiger said, "Well, Brahmin, it is up to you to decide whom you should rescue first. But only because this gentleman belongs to your species, that is no reason enough to give him priority. In fact, I would like to warn you against him. Since I have digested innumerable men, I can say just looking at men what stuff they are made of. Now, this gentleman is made of nothing but deceit and treachery. Even if you were speaking truth about this man, how can I rescue you? Please don't mind, you are a tiger," said the Brahmin. "I am a tiger, but one with a conscience. Here is a gentleman within my reach, but I have not eaten up him because we share the same fate. How can I eat you since you will be my savior?" answered the tiger. The good Brahmin made a strong rope with creepers and threw its end into the well and rescued the tiger, the monkey, and the snake one after the other. All the creatures told him, "Beware of the man in the well." In the meanwhile, the man was shrieking and crying to be rescued. The Brahmin, despite the warnings, rescued the man. Then the four bowed to him. The tiger said, "Beyond this cliff there is a spacious cave in which I live. If you ever care to visit me, I will receive you well. And only 200 yards from the cliff there is a waterfall. Beside the waterfall stands a big banyan tree. There dwell I. If you come there, I would be delighted," said the monkey. "I will come to your rescue whenever you are in some grave danger, if you remember me," said the snake. "I am a goldsmith. If you would ever wish to buy or sell gold ornaments, visit me. I will show you the maximum consideration," promised the man. Then they all dispersed. The Brahmin, after crossing the forest, went to several villages and met a number of landlords and tried to impress them. But they were not interested in scholarship. Disappointed, the Brahmin began his homeward journey and entered the forest again. Hungry and thirsty, he came near the waterfall. The monkey saw him and hopped down to greet him and in a few minutes collected a heap of rare kinds of delicious fruits. The Brahmin was very happy. After resting for a while, he asked, "Where does the tiger live?" The monkey led him to the tiger. When the tiger heard the Brahmin's voice, he came out carrying a bundle of ornaments. These belonged to a prince who was galloping through this forest. His horse threw him down and he was killed. "I removed these ornaments from his body with the hope that some day I will get a chance to present them to you," the tiger said. The Brahmin's joy knew no bound at the sight of the valuable gifts. He proceeded to meet the goldsmith forthwith. When they met, the Brahmin said, "Take these and give me their value in money." The goldsmith identified the ornaments as the prince's, for he had made them himself. The king, thinking that the prince had been murdered by dacoits, had announced that whoever could give any clue to the mystery would get a big reward. Now the goldsmith, asking the Brahmin to wait there, ran to the king and showed him the ornament. In a few minutes, the Brahmin was arrested and put under shackles and fetters. At night, the Brahmin remembered the snake. Before long, the snake appeared there and learned the Brahmin's plight. He whispered some advice to the Brahmin and disappeared. Shortly thereafter, a cry was heard from the interior of the palace. A din and bustle followed. The queen, bitten by a snake, lay unconscious. The best of the land's physicians, occultists, and wizards were summoned. But in spite of all their efforts to save the queen, her condition worsened. Towards the dawn, the king declared that if anybody could save the queen, he would have great honor and wealth. The prisoner Brahmin then sent word that he could try. His shackles and fetters were immediately removed. He was led into the queen's chamber. And lo and behold, as soon as he touched the queen's hand, she opened her eyes. The king embraced the Brahmin and asked him how he happened to get those ornaments. The Brahmin narrated all that had happened. The king was most impressed by his nobleness and appointed him as one of his ministers. The treacherous goldsmith was, of course, severely punished. The Brahmin brought his family there and lived happily. Was it not I who had sent you in search of luck? His wife reminded him half a dozen times every day. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Do provide your feedback in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.